Our today's topic is tourism. Now, what is tourism? Understand it with an example. We undertake short or long journeys for various purposes like festivals, family, functions, fairs, sports, wanderings, recreation, etc. We need to carry out some preparations before going anywhere, such as selecting the route to go there, choosing the means of transport, packing essential things, etc. When we reach the destination, we visit the exquisite and spectacular sites. Sometimes we stay there. We make use of the facilities provided over there. We also pay in lieu of those services or goods. Visiting various places away from our homes for getting joy, entertainment, trading, staying, etc. is called tourism. Now let's understand the concept tourism. What is tourism? Tourism is travel for pleasure and the commercial activity of providing and supporting such travel. UN Tourism defines tourism more generally in terms which go beyond the common perception of tourism as being limited to holiday activity only, as people traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure and not less than 24 hours, business and other purposes. Tourism can be domestic, that is within the traveler's own country, or international, and international tourism has both incoming and outgoing implications on a country's balance of payments. Tourism numbers declined as a result of the strong economic shutdown between the second half of 2008 and the end of 2009, but slowly recovered until the COVID 19 pandemic, but an abrupt end to the growth. The United Nations World Tourism Organization estimated that global international tourists arrivals might have decreased by 58% to 78% in 2020, leading to a potential loss in international tourism receipts. Globally, international tourism receipts grew to US $1.03 trillion in 2005, corresponding to an increase in real terms of 3.8% from 2010. International tourist arrivals surpassed the milestone of 1 billion tourists globally for the first time in 2012. Emerging source markets such as China, Russia, and Brazil had significantly increased their spending over the previous decade. Global tourism accounts for 8% of global greenhouse gases emissions. Emissions, as well as other significant environmental and social impacts, are not always beneficial to local communities and their economies. For this reason, many tourist development organizations have begun to focus on sustainable tourism to mitigate the negative effects caused by the growing impact of tourism. The United Nations World Tourism Organization emphasized these practices by promoting tourism as a part of sustainable development goals through programs like International Year for Sustainable Tourism for Development in 2017 and programs like Tourism for SDGs focusing on how SDG 8, SDG 12 and SDG 14 implicate tourism in creating a sustainable economy. Tourism has reached new dimensions with the emerging industry of space tourism as well as the cruise ship industry. Tourism is a social, cultural, and economic phenomena which entails the movement of people to countries or places outside their usual environment for personal or business professional purposes. The act and process of spending time away from home in pursuit of recreation, relaxation, and pleasure while making use of the commercial provision of services. Tourism is more difficult to define, and there are many different forms of tourism. Tourism is about a temporary or short term movement away from the place where a person normally lives in and works. Types of tourism. On the basis of boundaries, the places On the basis of boundaries, there are two types of tourism: domestic tourism and international tourism. Domestic tourism is when residents of a country travel within that country for any purpose such as leisure, business, or visiting friends and relatives. Domestic tourists may travel to places of attraction or participate in tourism activities. Domestic tourism can contribute to local economic development in a number of ways. Domestic tourism is tourism within the limits of a country. For example, a person from Maharashtra going to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu for tourism, a person from Nagpur visiting Ellora caves in Aurangabad, etc. Next is international tourism or foreign tourism. International tourism comprises inbound tourism and outbound tourism, that is to say, the activities of resident visitors outside the country of reference, either as part of domestic or outbound tourism trips, and the activities of non resident visitors within the country of reference on inbound. Now, on the basis of boundaries, there were two types of tourism: domestic and international or foreign tourism. On the basis of aim of tourism and speciality of destination, there are seven types of tourism. First is procession. To go to a foreign country, one needs a passport, visa, travel insurance, and other documents. We should have currency of the country where we are going. For this, we need to exchange our value with that currency. This information is for international or foreign tourism. Now, on the basis of aim of tourism and specialities of the destination, there can be different types of tourism. Some of the types of tourism are given below. First is procession. Now, what is procession? Procession is a group of people of a particular religion carrying out their religious beliefs. See, a religious procession is a line of people who walk or travel together in a formal way as part of a religious ceremony. The word procession comes from the Latin word procession, which means a marching on or a marching forward. Some examples of processions are wedding procession, a procession that takes place during a wedding ceremony. Funeral procession, a procession that allows mourners to stay together as they travel to the burial site or other ceremony. Presidential procession, a procession that involves a large crowd of people lining the streets to watch the procession pass by. Presidential procession. In theology, procession can also refer to the emanation of the Holy Spirit from the Father and later from the Son. Procession is also a line of people who are all walking or traveling in the same direction, especially in a formal way as part of a religious ceremony or public celebration. A wedding or funeral procession is the festival will open with the procession led by the mayor. Religious processions can be important for a number of reasons, including visual, bodily, and verbal instruction. Processions can provide a visual, bodily, and verbal way to communicate why people are gathering. Continuity between sacred and profane environments. Processions can symbolize the continuity between the sacred environment of a temple and the profane environment that surrounds it. Community identity. Processions can create public space and be a flashpoint for religious or imperial authority. Part of tradition and heritage. Processions are a part of many religious traditions and heritage, such as the Catholic tradition. Special occasions. Processions can be held for special occasions such as to pray for rain or good weather or in times of war, famine, plague, and other disasters. Processions have traditionally been an integral part of religious life. They are often among the most visible of religious activities in public spaces and to that extent have the greatest opportunity for contact with secular activities and religious beliefs. Second is sanctuary. A sanctuary is protected area that provides a safe space for wild animals to live in their natural environment. Sanctuaries are important for wildlife conservation and tourism in several ways. Protecting wildlife. Sanctuaries protect animal habitats and prevent poaching, killing, and capturing of animals. Research opportunities. Sanctuaries provide opportunities for researchers to study animals and plants. Endangered species. Sanctuaries help endangered species reproduce and increase their numbers. Tourism. Sanctuaries are a popular destination for wildlife tourism. Hunting, lighting fires, and using substances that harm wildlife are prohibited. Now, these are some things which need to be kept in mind while visiting a sanctuary. Hunting, lighting fires, and using substances that harm wildlife are prohibited. Fishing and grazing livestock may be permitted under controlled behavior. A wildlife sanctuary is an area where animal habitats and their surroundings are protected from any sort of disturbance. The capturing, killing, and poaching of animals is strictly prohibited in these regions. They aim at providing a comfortable living to the animals. Importance of wildlife sanctuaries is as follows: to protect the species that are endangered, to prevent removing animals from their natural surroundings and protect them in their own environment, to keep an eye on the endangered species and help them reproduce and increase their numbers. Third is wandering in the wild. There are multiple types of tourism that involve interacting with nature and wildlife, including wilderness tourism. Involves traveling to relatively undeveloped protected areas to experience solitude and freedom. Wildlife tourism involves observing and interacting with local animal and plant life in their natural habitats. This includes ecotourism, safari tours, and mountain tourism. Ecotourism is a type of nature based tourism that focuses on reducing or eliminating environmental impact. Ecotourism can include activities like hiking, camping, bird watching, and going on safari. Adventure tourism involves exploring remote areas and engaging in activities that require skill, experience, risk, and physical exertion. This can include trekking, skiing, and whitewater rafting. Next is sea tourism. Sea tourism, also known as maritime or nautical tourism, is a type of tourism that involves activities on the water or in the ocean along with the land based services and infrastructure that support it. Some examples of sea tourism include cruising, traveling from port to port on a cruise ship; boating, joining a boat centered event like a regatta, or landing a small boat for a day of recreation; yachting, a sea based activity that's part of maritime tourism; nautical sports, a sea based activity that's part of maritime tourism; deep sea fishing, an ocean based activity that's part of marine tourism. So, sea tourism has also been a significant part of the tourism industry and has helped drive growth and innovation in coastal countries. However, the industry faces challenges such as environmental concerns, tight government budgets, and population aging. Maritime tourism or seatime tourism refers to a sea-based activities such as cruising, yachting, boating, and nautical sports, and includes their respective land-based services and infrastructure. Nautical tourism, also called water tourism, is tourism that combines the sailing and boating with vacation and holiday activities. It can be traveling from port to port in a cruise ship, or joining boat centered events such as regattas, or landing a small boat for lunch or other day recreation at specially prepared day boat landings. It is a form of tourism that is generally more popular in the summertime. Cruisers can see traditional life in remote areas of the world. First defined as an industry segment in Europe and South America, it has since caught on in the United States and the Pacific Rim. Next is health tourism. Health tourism or medical tourism is the practice of traveling abroad to obtain medical treatment. In the past, this usually referred to those who traveled from less developed countries to major medical centers in highly developed countries for treatment unavailable at home. However, in recent years, it may equally refer to those from developed countries who travel to developing countries for lower priced medical treatments. With differences between the medical agencies such as the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) or the European Medicines Agencies (EMA), etc., which decide whether a drug is approved in their country or region or not. The motivation may be also for the medical services unavailable or non-licensed in the home country. Medical tourism most often is for surgeries, that is cosmetic or otherwise, or similar treatments, though people also travel for dental tourism or fertility tourism. People with rare conditions may travel to countries where the treatment is better understood. However, almost all types of healthcare are available, including psychiatry, alternative medicine, convalescent care, and even burial services. Health tourism is a wider term for travel that focuses on medical treatments and the use of healthcare services. It covers a wide field of health oriented tourism, ranging from preventive and health conductive treatment to rehabilitational and curative forms of travel. Wellness tourism is a related field. Medical tourism, also called as medical travel, health tourism, or global health care, is the term used to describe the rapidly growing practice of traveling across international borders to seek healthcare services. Services typically sought by travelers include elective procedures as well as complex surgeries, etc. Next is adventure tourism. Adventure sports are a type of leisure tourism that involve physical activity and can be enjoyed in a variety of settings, including on land, in the air, and on water. Some examples of adventure sports can include rock climbing, rock climbing, scuba diving, skiing, mountaineering, mountain biking, rafting, snowboarding, rock climbing, a classic adventure tourism activity that combines physical activity with the beauty of nature. Scuba diving, a popular and inclusive activity that started as an adventurous activity for the physically fit. Skiing, a popular adventurous activity that is good for your health. Mountaineering, an adventure tourism activity that includes rock climbing, backpacking, physical fitness programs, and cross country skiing. Mountain biking, an increasingly important leisure activity that is becoming an essential part of people's lifestyle. Rafting, a water sport that is in high demand in destinations with ideal conditions. Snowboarding, an adventure tourism activity that takes advantage of the natural world. Package tours can make it easier to participate in sports tourism at remote locations. Last is life below the sea. Adventure sports. Some popular adventure sports have grown into major tourism platform in India. These are mountaineering, trekking, camping, rock climbing, skiing, river rafting, cliff jumping, paragliding, bungee jumping, scuba diving. Last is adventure tourism is about connecting with a new culture or a new landscape and being physically active at the same time. It is not about being risky or pushing your boundaries. Last is life below the sea tourism. Tourism that involves the ocean and its life is connected to several types of tourism, including underwater tourism. This type of tourism allows visitors to see the wonders of the underwater world, including coral reefs, colorful fish, and other fascinating creatures. Visitors can explore the underwater world through scuba diving, snorkeling, or marine trips. Coastal and maritime tourism. This type of tourism is the largest economic sector for many small island developing states and accounts for about 80% of all global tourism. However, mass tourism can have negative impacts on the environment, local communities, and culture. Nautical tourism. This type of tourism includes traveling by cruise ship from port to port, participating in boat centered events, or landing a small boat for day recreation. It is often more popular during the summer. Tourism development should be a part of the integrated coastal zone management plans to help preserve fragile ecosystems. Next important topic in tourism is GPS for tourism. GPS tracking makes traveling more enjoyable. In addition to the current vehicle position, the estimated time of arrival is also known. They exchange messages with the driver and send alternative destinations directly to the navigation device. GPS technology has many uses in the tourism industry, including trip planning. GPS tracking and mapping helps tourists find new attractions, avoid traffic, and plan their trips. Route allocation. GPS tracking systems can help with better route allocation. Traffic monitoring. Tourism managers can use GPS to monitor traffic patterns and identify hotspots. Environmental impact. GPS can help evaluate the environmental impact of tourism. Visitor behavior. GPS tracking can help understand visitor behavior, such as where visitors to go, how long they stay, and what routes they take. Real time updates. GPS enabled mobile apps can provide real time updates and traffic, alternate routes, and estimated arrival times. Personalized features. GPS apps can offer personalized features such as saving favorite locations, accessing offline maps, and receiving voice guided directions. Driver safety. GPS trackers can be used in buses to provide the current vehicle position and estimated time of arrival. This can help drivers focus on passenger safety. GPS technology has many uses in the tourism industry, including trip planning, traffic monitoring, location. MTDC Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation. GPS for tourism. GPS for tourism. The GPS system in our smartphones or the GPS instrument is largely used for tourism. For that, we need special applications like the Google Map. We can know our exact location with the help of the map. Once it is decided where we want to head, then information regarding all the possible routes of travel, distances, time required according to the type of vehicle, amenities on the way like petrol pump, restaurants, lodges, etc. becomes available in the app. We can use this for tourism. Now, the main concept, Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation, MTDC. Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation has MTDC has implemented many programs. It has provided guest houses, water sports, tourist houses, and near coastal areas, etc. Deccan Odyssey is a train started especially for tourism. This train is operated in coordination with MTDC, Indian Railways, and Ministry of Tourism. The train originates at Mumbai and takes tourists to places like Nashik, Ellora, Ajanta, Kolhapur, Goa, and Ratnagiri and back to Mumbai. This train is like a moving palace. Another type of similar train is called Palace on Wheels. This train takes the Delhi Jaipur Udaipur Bharatpur Agra Delhi route. Many domestic and foreign tourists enjoy traveling in these trains. The Indian Railways have started a new train with coaches having transparent ceiling, Visitor Dome as a special attraction for tourism. It runs on the Vishakhapatnam Kirandul route. The passengers can see the panoramic view of the nature rich region of Araku Valley, Anantgiri Ghat section, and Bora Caves by sitting in a completely air conditioned coach having glass roof. Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation is since inception it has been involved in the development and maintenance of the various tourist locations of Maharashtra. MTDC owns and maintains resorts at all key tourist centers, and having more resorts is on the plan. MTDC initiates and supports various cultural activities through Maharashtra with the objective to improve tourism in the state. One such example is Sanskruti Arts Festival Upvan, Thane, which MTDC has supported along with TMC, Thane Municipal Corporation. Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation, commonly abbreviated as MTDC, is a body of the Government of Tourism in the Indian state of Maharashtra. It has been established under the Companies Act 1956, fully owned by Government of Maharashtra for systematic development of tourism on commercial lines with an authorized share capital of rupees 25 crore. The paid up share capital of the corporation as on 31st March 2013 is 1538.88 lakhs. Ecotourism. Now, this is a very interesting concept, I should say. Ecotourism. Ecotourism is a type of nature based travel that aims to protect the environment, local communities, and animals. It's a more sustainable alternative to mass tourism. Ecotourism is a form of nature oriented tourism intended to contribute to the conservation of the natural environment, generally defined as being minimally impactful and including providing both contributions to conservation and environmental contribution. Various forms of tourism are emerging to give a flip to tourism. One of these is ecotourism. This concept came into light when it was realized that due to increasing population, pollution and urbanization, environment is degrading. It is an eco-friendly type of tourism. If tourism is developed by considering that while touring a place, the environment should not be degraded or damaged by tourists, then it is called ecotourism. This includes taking precautions of not throwing litter at tourist sites, avoiding noise pollution, not hurting trees and birds and animals in the forest. Besides this, recently the concept of agrotourism has arisen, which is a pollution free location away from the city holding an agricultural activity where the tourist is shown a glimpse of agricultural life. Tourists are attracted towards it. This is called agrotourism. For a change from the urban life, tourists live on the farm and accept the hospitality of the farmers on payment in agrotourism. In Pune and Kolhapur districts of Maharashtra, a number of agrotourism centers have been developed. Film tourism is a new type of tourism. The locations where films are shot attract a crowd of tourists, and hence the concept of film tourism emerged. A number of amenities and facilities are provided to attract tourists to these places where film shooting takes place. Example Mumbai City, Mumbai Film City, Ramoji City, etc. Tarkarli in Konkan is famous for its seabed and the biodiversity found here. Here the tourist can do snorkeling and scuba diving. MTDC has started a scuba diving training center of international standards at Tarkarli, Taluka Malvan district, Sindhudurg. Importance of tourism development in India. Tourism is a vital part of India's economy and contributes to the country's growth in several ways. Tourism and economic development, tourism and environmental development, tourism and health, tourism and social development, tourism and economic growth, tourism and job creation, tourism and local economy, etc. Now let's see this one by one. As we all know that India is a diverse country in terms of culture and nature, tourism has a lot of potential over here. The richness of natural beauty in India, attractive landscapes, high mountains like the Himalayas, exquisitive exquisitive landscapes, high mountains like the Himalayas, exquisitive coastal areas attracts tourists. Also, the diversity of Indian culture, festivals, traditions, costumes, variety of dishes made using Indian spices, and hospitality of the Indians has resulted in opportunities of tourism in India. First is tourism and economic development. Tourism development helps the Indian economy in a great way. Restaurant shops, transportation systems, recreational places, etc. develop because of tourism and directly contribute to the economy. Also, basic infrastructure improves and employment is generated, which is advantageous to the economy directly, which is advantageous to the economy indirectly. Tourism plays an important role in economic development. Therefore, it is said that tourism is an invisible trade. Second is tourism and environmental development. Tourism is good for environmental development. To develop natural locations, sanctuaries, national parks, etc., economic investment is made by the government for the sake of tourism industry. Because of eco-friendly tourism concept, tourist places can be developed while caring for the environment. Factors like housing, resorts, traffic routes, etc. are also designed in an eco-friendly manner. In this type of developmental process, electricity, water are used very judiciously. The concept of recycle and reuse is also applied. Natural environment is maintained and tourism is developed too. Tourism and health. Some tourists visit India to avail the health facilities. Visiting the places of tourist interest and achieving mental peace and physical strength through Indian Ayurveda, yoga, pranayam, etc. is the objective behind it. The medicinal and surgical treatment in Indian hospitals are cost effective and therefore many patients from various developing countries come here for treatment. Medical tourism develops from the facilities required by these tourists. Tourism and social development. Some specific social programs can be accomplished using tourism. If facets like rural lifestyle, tribal life, and culture are included in tourism, tourism gets a social dimension and the neglected components of the society can be included in development. The tribal life in Melghat of Maharashtra and visit to model villages like Anandvan project of the social activist Baba Amte, Relghan Siddhi, Hivre Bazar, etc. creates social consciousness and gives a flip to development there. There is a great potential for the development of such a type of tourism in India. In future, tourism will be an important factor in the Indian economy. Tourism is a vital part of India's economy and contributes to the country's growth as well. Tourism is a major contributor to India's GDP and can help the country's economy grow over time. Tourism also creates job opportunities in many sectors including administration, security and travel. Tourism also supports local businesses like hostels, restaurants, and transportation services. Tourism helps preserve cultural sites and historical landmarks which are often funded by tourists. Tourism helps people from different cultures learn about each other and promotes acceptance of different ways of life. Tourism can boost the income of households by providing opportunities to sell handicrafts. The Indian government has taken steps to promote tourism, including launching campaigns like Visit India Year 2023, promoting sustainable tourism through the draft National Tourism Policy in 2022, introducing the Swadesh Darshan scheme and the PRASHAD scheme to improve in tourism infrastructure and promote heritage destination. The tourism industry in India plays a crucial role in the country's economy, contributing significantly to GDP, ensuring development of more jobs and earnings, and an upward growth in foreign exchange earnings. Tourism can contribute to sustainable development in a variety of sectors. Economic growth. Tourism generates income and creates training opportunities and easily accessible jobs as well as sales markets for services and local products. Issues related to tourism development. The major issues faced by the tourism some issues related to tourism development are: the income of a country should be substantially high for development of tourism. Domestic tourism should be given a boost. Tourists from other countries should be banned. Tourists should be assured of a safe journey. The cultural heritage of a country should be preserved. We should respect other countries' culture. Government subsidies and incentives should be given for tourism business. Participation in international sports should be increased. Tourism should be encouraged through advertisements. It is necessary to preserve the tourist places. We should preserve the buildings of famous places who have contributed in various sectors as memorials. Services and amenities should be developed for tourism. Tourist agencies should be banned. There is no ample scope in the field. Tourism is a type of invisible trade. All types of facilities should be developed for tourists. The country's economy does not benefit at all from tourism. The hidden potential of other sites should also be developed. The forts and castles should be developed. The major issues faced by the tourism industry relate to entry formality, that is, visa, safety and security of tourists, lack of tourism infrastructure, lack of cleanliness and hygiene in tourist spots, lack of connectivity, high and multiple taxation, etc. Issues such as terrorist attacks, natural disasters, and health emergencies can affect travel plans and contribute to a decline in tourism. Changing consumer preferences are evolving with an increased demand for personalized experiences, unique accommodations, and a focus on cultural immersion.